Welcome to Geneius Thoughts. I'm Gene Bleeker, the eyes, ears, and voice of the real estate in the community, and I just wanted to say welcome to the greatest show in real estate. I am here with my real estate all-star, Mr. Mike Emerson.
Thank you, Gene. Thank you for having me on.
I am so glad that you're on my podcast today so people could see you, hear you, and know everything about you. And I do have a couple of questions I want to ask you. Some are a little bit more business-oriented, and some of them are a little bit on the personal side, just to have a little bit of fun here today.
Sure, fire away.
But I want to ask you the big question. What got you into real estate in the first place? And I ask this to everybody on my show. That's always my first question.
I was in the printing business for 35 years. Had a golden opportunity to make a change. It was a good time. Kids had moved out of the house. I was looking for something new to do. And as you know, my mom was in the real estate business for several years.
Christine Emerson was amazing
and
in
she
real
did
estate.
well out here. And she said, Mike, she goes, I think real estate really suits you. I think you ought to give that a look. So I did. I started to get into it. I started to take the classes. And trust me, when you take a real estate classes, they are so dry, right? It's all about contracts and everything. And I was into
boring, right?
Right? And it was taking a while for me to get through it because, I'll be honest with you, it just wasn't exciting me. I wish I had gotten into the business first and then started taking the classes, because once you get into the business and you start interacting with people, then it starts becoming a lot of fun, right? So there's a little bit of a disconnect there between the classes and actually doing the job.
Because you're all about connectivity. That's what you do well. You're very good at welcoming people. You have a really good, warm heart. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute as well.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You got it. So it was the connectivity that got you staying in real estate, correct?
Yeah, having a ball.
Well, the other thing that I see as a big success value that you bring to the table is your community involvement. So why is that so important to you? And I know I've asked you that question before during some of the video series that I put together, but it seems that's something you really excel in.
Well, thank you. I think it's important to support those that are supporting us and our families and our friends in our community.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's why I think it's so important. They say it takes a village, and it does take a village, and that's all part of it. Supporting those organizations that turn around and support us, friends and family.
And you know what? I love that, which leads really to my next question. It seems like this could have been an infomercial that we wrote together, but tell me about what charity or nonprofit organization that's really close to your heart.
Well, I got a couple of them. Well, first of all, the Sheila Vilas Breast Center over at Henry Mayo is near and dear to my heart. My family, like virtually every family, has been affected by breast cancer.
Absolutely.
And so that's an important one as we fight to find a cure and support those families that are going through that very tough time as well. And then there's one that I've just recently become aware of that's filling a great niche. It's called Finally Family Homes.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're filling a niche where foster kids have timed out. In other words, they've reached age, graduation, and they're being let loose by their adoptive families or foster families. And in a lot of cases, these kids just aren't ready yet. They find themselves homeless and without much direction. So Finally Family Homes helps get these kids on their feet, gets education for those that need it.
You've been talking about them a lot lately, right? I mean, I think you've met with some of the people in charge of the organization who kind of helped you, enlighten you into the organization, correct?
Yeah, Christina Dornan over at Finally Family Homes. She's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I think those are two great organizations, and I'm glad we were able to promote both of them on this program. So thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Sure.
So let's talk about something fun.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm all about food. I'm all about food, and that's okay.
As you can see.
Yeah. So can you tell me, what's your favorite place to eat here in Santa Clarita?
Backwoods Inn. Yeah, hands down.
You didn't even have to think about it.
I didn't have to think about it. It's an oldie but a goodie. Having lived here my whole life, folks moved out here in 1964. Backwoods Inn has been around for almost as long. It has just been the place where special occasions have always been celebrated. I just love the the old-fashioned decor.
It's all about red, right?
Yeah. It's dark with the antiques and the sawdust on the floor, and the waitresses and waiters are always fantastic, and that's my favorite place.
Okay, so that was one of the very first restaurants I ever eaten at when I first moved to Santa Clarita. Somebody says you got to go try it out.
Yeah.
I think they have something called the Wally Burger, right?
Well, I love the prime rib myself. That's right up there near the top. Get the horseradish sauce.
Okay, horseradish sauce. Okay, that's your thought of the day.
Fast.
I will not. So the other question I want to ask you is there any businesses that you would like to promote? If there's a couple that come to mind, whether they're new businesses that are out there or businesses that you worked with, I'd love you to be able to talk about them.
Sure. Well, I think it's important to support the small businesses in our neighborhoods, where we grow up, or where we do business, where we go shopping. Where we raise our families. They're sort of the soundtrack playing quietly in the background that make up the culture of the neighborhood.
Yeah, I remember when you and I had this conversation before, you kind of talked about it being the village.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly. So a shout out to my friends over at Bouquet Cleaners to make sure all my jackets are clean and looking good all the time.
Bouquet Cleaners?
Harry and Arlette, yeah. A big shout out to Pam's Donuts, who make the best apple fritters in town. And I've tried them all, trust me.
Okay, so you owe me an apple fritter, by the way, just so you know that, okay?
And the young lady's been cutting my hair my whole life since I had hair. Carlene Aramillo. So these are just folks in the neighborhood that have been there for a long time. They support our neighborhoods. They work hard. You go into their businesses. They have a smile, and they.
Does she have her own shop? Or does she work for a salon?
She moves around. So I'd have to give you her contact info to find out exactly where she's at right now.
Okay, I want to know. I want to know. All right, so let me ask you another question, if I may.
Sure. So
your last real estate transaction, who was your last raving fan that you want to thank and say hello to?
Jason Adair and his wife Susan. They've just been wonderful friends. Not only they started off as clients, they've become very dear friends. They've supported me, and I really do appreciate their support and their love and their friendship.
All right, so cheers to them, right?
Cheers
Bravo.
to them.
So, raving fans, good for you. Cheers to them.
Thank you.
All right. So let me ask you about your education.
Uh-oh.
So who was your favorite teacher of all time?
Favorite teacher? Well, besides the final bell in high school,
okay,
I'd have to say probably my coaches. I had a couple of basketball coaches in high school that left a big impression with me. John Clark and Fred Crummett, both at Saugus High, class of '81, Saugus High.
Okay.
Both basketball coaches, and taught me so much more about life, as well as teaching the ins and outs of basketball.
You know what? But that's what makes a great coach, right? You know, it's more than just the sport. It's about making a great impact on you.
Yeah.
All right. So give me their names again.
John Clark. And Fred Crummett. Yeah.
All right. So
Class
Mike
of 81.
Emerson owes you something, guys. So cheers to you. Maybe an apple fritter. All right. So
I still see Coach Clark out jogging the streets out in Saugus. I don't think he eats too many apple fritters.
Okay.
He looks great.
Okay. So did you have a favorite subject in school?
Oh, favorite subject. Well, I'd have to say probably history, and no particular reason. U.S. history, I think, was my favorite. Just I had a lot of interest towards it. I always thought it was fun, easy.
Okay. History works well. So my next question to you is this. Do you have any mentors in real estate?
Well, Steve Korn, of course.
I love that guy.
Yeah, over at New Hall Escrow, and then Gene Bleeker.
No, you know what? He is overrated, by the way. Let's just stick with Steve Korn, because Steve Korn's really good at what he does.
Well, both of you guys have been a huge influence and so much help in so many different ways, and I can't thank you enough.
You're welcome. But, when I met you, I told you, you've got the right chemistry and the right personality to be a real huge hit and a success in this business, not because of the product knowledge, not because of the training in the business. It's just because of that warm heart. That's what really made me believe in you, and I still do, and I think you're doing a great job, and I want to say cheers to that.
Thank you so much, Gene.
All right, so we always talk about the positive. So if you were a real estate agent, what advice would you give an agent that they should never do?
I think that they should always listen before they talk. Listen to the client. And that's not an easy thing, especially for a young real estate agent to do. You're trying so hard to impress somebody with your knowledge, what it is you've learned in the business, and the ways that you can help them. And but what's really important, in time, the client will get all of that. But what's really important is to listen to the client and find out what it is they need, what they're going through.
So, talk less and listen more.
Talk less and listen more. Listen first, talk second.
That's so good. This is why I think you're so good at what you do.
Thank you.
Mike, any closing thoughts before we say goodbye?
Just thank you, Gene. Thank you for all that you do, for who you are, for all your mentoring, and all your support.
Well,
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, you know what? You're a warm person. You're a great guy. You got wonderful values. You've got some great charities and nonprofits that you support. And you know what? Let's hope that 2023 will be an outstanding year for you again in real estate.
Appreciate that, Gene. Thank you so much.
You got it, pal. Thank you. Welcome, Amy Atkins with PRMG to our program. I know you're going to be sharing some of the newest listings of the week.
Well, thank you so much, Gene. I'm so happy to be here.
I am happy that you're happy to be here. But before we do, PRMG, do you want to remind our audience again what the big PRMG is all about?
Right. It's a fantastic mortgage company with a funny little name, PRMG, but it stands for Paramount Residential Mortgage Group.
Okay. Simple? Plain?
Simple, and we are nationwide, and we are large, but we're small. We are owned by like 4 people who are very reachable, and great company. I came on board with them in April after being with another company for 13 years, and I'm happy to represent the whole Western region as their development manager.
That is amazing. So is there any new changes going on with PRMG or with the industry that you'd like to share with everybody before we go into the new listings?
Thank you for asking. Yeah, the industry as a whole is still strong. I mean, we had interest rates that were actually artificially kept low during COVID, and so now that they've bumped up, they've kind of would have gradually done that anyway had we not experienced the whole COVID thing. But
right.
They kept them down at 3%, so now a lot of people feel rate locked at 3%. But prices are not going down because we have $7 million home short, or 7 million homes short in the United States as far as inventory. And California, I think, is 2.7 million of that. So that's a lot of shortages. So prices are not going to go down because we have an inventory issue.
Yeah, they were just talking about it yesterday. I was with a couple agents yesterday, and they say they've never seen it so low. And that's the story I keep hearing day in and day out.
Well, they've kept rates a little bit higher to try to get inflation down, that's how economies work. But I think we'll see them come down. All indications are that they'll come down. I think if we can get back into the 5s, which is very realistic, maybe by the end of the year, we're going to see people moving again. We're going to see homes coming on the market.
So I totally believe that.
Good. Great time to sell, great time to buy.
I think so. And, having Neri look at our inventory and seeing what was out there to see what we were going to promote today, it seems like we've got 4 listings in one particular area that we're going to be promoting. It seems like those are the deals of the day,
These are the deals of the day. I've been looking at these, and I can't wait to share them with you.
I'm ready when you are.
Okay. Well, this first listing, Gene, I'm going to present is by Charlotte Gonzalez with RE/MAX All Pro. It's on Westridge Drive in Lancaster. It's 4 bedrooms, 2 bath. 2,038 square feet. It's a beautiful west side single-story home, always popular single stories, always in demand, I have to say. This home offers a beautiful entryway and upgrades throughout. It's also highly sought after split floor plans. So if you know what a split floor plan is, that means when usually the primary bedroom's on one end and the kids are on the other. So people love that. The outdoor space is perfect for entertaining with a covered patio and beautiful greenery. So if you're interested, Charlotte's got a great listing here.
Bravo.
Are we ready for another one?
I am ready for number 2.
Let's go. This one is by Pablo Meza with EXP. It's listed at $455,000, which is a great price. It's on Valyurmo Road in Parablossom, California, which is not too far from here. It is 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,710 square feet. Mm-hmm. Beautiful location, peace and quiet. 2-bedroom bonus room, 2-bath ranch home. Great views of the valley, equestrian horse trails, and dog kennels. It's approximately 3.82 acres. So that's quite a value for 455. So call Pablo on this
I
listing.
got it.
Okay.
2 down.
2 down.
We're up to number 3.
We're moving on to a listing by Michael Adams. It is $554,999. It is at West 32nd Street, Lancaster, California. 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, 2,800 square feet. This is a must-see West Side newer home, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths with a loft. There's granite countertops, and this home is located within 5 minutes of the freeway in Antelope Valley College. Very close to shopping centers, Cinemark 22, which is the theaters, the Antelope Valley Fairgrounds, and fast food restaurants. So if you want to get on the freeway fast and commute and also want to grab a quick taco, great place to check out by Michael Adams.
Exactly. And it's really kind of funny, Amy. Looking at Pablo, looking at Charla,
Yeah.
looking at Michael. I mean, these 3 people have been taking a lot of listings. So as slow as the market is, I mean, you want to talk about hustling? These 3 are hustling like crazy.
And these are just priced so well. And again, in the Antelope Valley, which is still commuting distance to Los Angeles, a lot of people
Exactly.
do it all the time.
And I think there's a listing that we have out there with Stacy Havener.
We do.
In Pine Mountain, right? I
In
mean,
Pine Mountain?
another lady who's just taking a loads of listings.
Yeah, Stacy's
right?
always pretty busy. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, this one is on Yellowstone Drive in Pine Mountain Club. Gene, I've been to Pine Mountain Club a couple of times, and it's kind of as close as it is to where we're at. It's like being a world away up in the mountains. It's like you're up in the forest, and it's really, really a nice area. So a lot of people own vacation homes up there. So this is 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. It's 1,008 square feet. Beautiful, updated 2-bedroom, 2-bath with modern features and high-end finishes. This home boasts newer plumbing and plumbing fixtures and newer electrical wiring throughout. It's been retrofitted and insulated, and the wood deck has also been retrofitted. So that's nice. It has a wood deck because when you're up in Pine Mountain Club, you want to breathe that pine air and go out there and enjoy it. The drought-tolerant landscaping is not only eco-friendly, but also adds to the home's overall appeal. This property is actually perfect for those seeking a peaceful and relaxed lifestyle while still being close to all the modern conveniences of the city.
I love that. And it's kind of nice because I've been to Pine Mountain as well.
Yeah.
I think going there at night, what a beautiful star-studded evening it is.
I have not been there at night. I'll have to check that out.
It is amazing. And you know what? Everybody that I talk to, you talk about renters, you talk about people that have vacation homes there.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the scenic view.
All about the scenic view, yeah. And they've got, kind of a little community center up there and a little restaurants and things. So it's self-contained, but yet commuting distance to Santa Clarita for everything else you need.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Got some great listings here today. So we've got the convenience of the AV in the Antelope Valley, and then we've got some off of Pear Blossom with acreage, and then also this one up in the mountains of Pine Mountain Club.
Yeah, I mean, we were looking in Ventura, we were looking in the San Fernando Valley, we were looking in Santa Clarita just to find those choice listings, but thank goodness we found these 4 diamonds, right?
We found these 4 diamonds, yeah. So, and you know what? If you need financing on any of these properties, you know who to call.
Can you tell me again who to call?
PRMG, which I abbreviated that. It is Paramount Residential Mortgage Group, but I call it Please Ring My Guys or Girls.
I like that.
That's how I tell people to remember
Cheers
it.
to you.
Yes.
All right. Thank you again for being on the program.
A pleasure.
You are so amazing what you do, and please promise you're going to come back again.
I'm going to come back.